nice person, man. I never want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I will.
The one thing that many people on YouTube and real life either really love or really hate is an echo chamber. These are little safe spaces people build and hide deep inside because no other differing opinion can touch them there. This brings us to Quirky Loves Rosie. Honestly, I never thought I would make a video about her, but because we have a brief history, someone alerted me that she was responding to the drama between ALR and Zachary Michael, not to mention what's going on with Emily, which I found a little bit odd simply because if you listen to her talk, she's nothing like ALR or Foodie. I will give it to her, she tries very hard to make sure she doesn't act like them openly. Well, other than eating on live stream nearly every single one she does.
I'm like so excited that I'm almost a little nervous because I'm just like giddy that this came out so good. Okay. Rosie, just shut up and eat. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so much better with the toppings. This is so good, you guys. Make this. Make this. Make this.
And she doesn't normally comment on this kind of thing. But in my Discord and on my channel, I've been hinting at a new locale as I build up things, like my backlog or evidence. So here she is, ladies and germs, the brand new locale for us to watch. If you like this kind of content, give me a like, maybe subscribe, and let's get a little deeper into this.
It's just silly. Because one of the bigger, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Critiques of me, I guess, is that, like, I like attention. I'm a clout chaser. Yeah, criticisms. Thank you. Of me is, like, that I basically just, I like attention. Let me be so fucking for real. Anybody with a YouTube channel likes attention. Any reactor that you like, any vlogger that you watch, anybody on the internet with their face attached to it likes attention. I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, guys, I don't like attention. I'm traumatized. I'm mentally ill. And I have a lot of fucking problems. I like attention. I didn't get enough as a child. Sue me. And it's interesting to me because I live in this body and I relate in a lot of ways that other people don't.
Before we get into all of that, though, I think it would be fair for me to explain my history with her. As you guys know, I have a pretty thriving Discord, link in the description down below, that I give other creators that don't know how or don't want to make one a place, and even give them their own channels. The works. Well, Rosie landed there after attempting very hard to befriend another reaction channel sometime in June or July. I'm not going to say the name because that's their business, but then boom, I have Rosie in my Discord. Almost immediately she made the rounds. Now, I didn't have as many as I do now, but she went to nearly every one of these creators and introduced herself. These messages have all been deleted and lost to time simply because, well, this was months ago, and I will get into the otherwise a little bit later. While making these rounds, she had a very well-honed knack for trying to get people behind her, trying to incite conversation that was not allowed, and trying to get a frenzy going over Emily and Emily's extracurricular activities, which led to more rules for my server to ensure that this will never happen again.
Whoa! Sorry, I had to go read that tea really fast. I'm in Nerfy's Discord by the invite of... I'm not going to say what I just read, but oh my god, tea.
So there we go. I have Rosie in my server, and immediately 2 reaction channels told me they did not want to speak anymore with her in there. And one actively left and asked me to let them know when Rosie was gone. Now, I'm a pretty nice human, and I asked around, and most claimed she was turning her life around. But the majority said she did not belong there. Because remember, you never touch the poo. But I wanted to give her a chance. It turns into her trying to become the go-to source and expert for a certain activity that Amber and Emily had recently been found in taking part in.
Hi, my name is Rosie, and I was groomed into. And it's a long story.
Now, to be completely clear, I have a lot of rules in my Discord because I want it to be a safe environment for the people that are in there. One of them was at the time and still is the rule that what Amber and Emily liked to do can be talked about, but nothing in detail, no videos, photos, or anything that people might find uncomfortable or even triggering. Nearly immediately, my mods were warning her about her content and what she was saying. I began to get a nearly unending stream of messages from my mods and from Rosie about a mod messaging her to follow the rules, or as she phrased it, bullying her. Now, she is going to say that she was confused, and I will give it to you. She might have been confused because she was new to Discord, or at least that's what she told me. But after the fourth or fifth message from my mods, I was beginning to get annoyed. Then the event happened. Now, I do not keep an echo chamber in my Discord or on my channel. What I do is I will control my mods, and that's the extent of it. There is no restriction to what people or who people can talk about in my Discord as long as they follow the rules. There was a mod sharing her opinions on Rosie very openly at one point, and she had to be demoted for this for a time because she needs to appear unbiased. But that being said, when everyone is a bit up in arms, you have to take some kind of action, so I did. Another Rosie fire put out, even if she didn't start this one. Well, okay, this exact one. Then, a few weeks later, I get a random Discord message from someone informing me on something that I was not aware of. Actually, explicit content of Rosie out there on the internet. Now, I have nothing really against people that do this kind of content, but I discussed it with my mods as well as a few other content creators, for advice, and I decided it was time for Rosie to go. I wanted to be nice, but I have to protect my channel and Discord first and foremost. And this kind of imagery did not match what I wanted in my Discord or my channel, let alone any YouTube channel, if I'm being completely fair. After that, I didn't see much about her. Didn't really care, if I'm being completely honest with you, because I'm trying to get out of Gorlwold. Well, okay, half out. Until I got a message about a live stream, because someone had some interesting things to say. So here we are to cover these. Hopefully once and only once, and then I will finally let Rosie fade into the distance of my mind, never to bother me again. Well, one can hope.
So this shit going on right now with ALR, Amber Lynn, and the, and Zachary Michael, I have some thoughts. Because if you guys have no idea what Gorlwold is, I'm so sorry. This is not the time. But as a lot of you know, I used to be a really big fan of Zachary Michael. I'm no longer a fan of Zachary Michael. And I have my reasons, and we may even get into that, because Zachary Michael is not who they portray themselves to be online. Zachary Michael is a lot faker than I ever realized, and it's really upsetting because I was a pretty diehard fan of his.
Now, I find it amazing that she has admitted to talking to Jorichi and Zachary Michael. Why? Because she claims not to be friends with reaction channels, nor ever want to be.
And that's what I think, Nar. That's one of the biggest reasons I stepped aside from engaging with reactions at all, because I fucking refuse to be like them in that sense of fueling reaction channels and giving them more content, like with that weird meta symbiotic like bullshit tornado that they create within each other.
Well, that's rather funny because she was trying to be friends with me and every other reactor she could get her claws into in my Discord. Honestly, if anything, she is not like Foodie or Amber simply because I don't think that they would be this proactive in their manipulation. Trying to get people to like you in a way that makes people hesitant to say anything negative about you. In fact, on her own live stream, she doesn't allow any negativity or criticism or anything that is not viewed as ass patting her. She will block people for giving an opinion on a cupboard after someone just said it was bothering them. 10 minutes, she went off on this person for 10 minutes. She likes to believe that she is the queen in her universe, but a queen often listens to her audience and people. No, Rosie is more of a dictator. Not only that, but rather than mark her videos as not for kids, she will simply hide the minors in her YouTube so we can't see them. But they're still there.
There are children in the live who? Oh my god, yeah, that account's getting blocked. No. This is an 18 plus space. I cuss too much. I think the account you deleted was, that picture looked like a minor.
After pointing them out and saying their username for any predator that might come across it, singling the minors out, that is. Because if she made it for adults, she would not be able to properly monetize. You know, like a good person. She actively surrounds herself with people that have nothing bad to say about her and encourages her to eat more and more on camera. Now, if there is one thing that she does love, it's to compare herself to Amber and even try and talk about the drama that's going on in Amberverse. So, the idea of her talking to Emily and following her on Instagram is not that shocking. The only thing shocking is that it took her this long. See, Rosie is not new to that circle, not even close. She has made her rounds over and over again in podcasts, interviews, and other places in order to try and cement herself in this expert of a sub-genre position. Now, I can't attest to how much of what she has said is true or how much is a lie. But I will say that the pictures and what she said in these places is evident. How she behaved in my Discord is evidence. If anyone started talking about the eating activity, Rosie was all too happy to pipe in as the expert. After all, she did make the rounds on the internet, I believe, that revolved around that subculture. And she likes to believe that she did things justice in the mini rounds she made with those podcasts and things of that nature, which honestly just made her look even worse now that she simply sits there for hours and eats on camera, claiming this is how you do it. Sure, if you have a lack of creativity and talent. She has actively manipulated some reaction channels like Michelle McDaniel, who made a video on her. But she was manipulated into making videos about her and praised them for being accurate. The issue is not that she talked to these reactors, but rather that she manipulated them into being on her side, even though that was likely not the intention of the reaction channels to begin with. She just wants to make sure everybody agrees that what she's doing is completely acceptable. As far as videos, you are only going to get to see a select few on her channel. No. She does lives. She lives and breathes in live streams.
I'd like that, but that's not sushi. That's a bastardization of sushi. It is a quesadilla. I just finished and I'm full. Excuse me. Alright guys, it's time to rally. Sink, 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 sink.
Well, okay, she tries to breathe. But don't worry, it's not just her eating.
Homemade jerky I have not had since I was like a kid. Right now I'm just polishing off some chicken salad.
And eating?
Lord, oh God, please don't fucking make a video about this. I don't want to be on her channel. Like, leave me alone, actually. DM Ambi is so different than the Ambi she presents on YouTube. Yeah. She came into my YouTube in October of, I think it was 2023. Like, over a year ago. Trying to, like, cozy up in terms of, like, being friendly. I'm not accusing her of anything else. And when I wasn't having it, her tone changed. Well, that's why I didn't title this live cooking, because this isn't a cooking live.
And eating.
I'm gonna pre-make some quesadillas.
And eating.
Chow mein is good with shredded carrot. It's been a long time since I've had chow mein. I was looking for my regular bamboo spoons, and none of them are in the drawer, and the dishwasher is empty. And I genuinely don't know where they are. I have like 4 of them.
She also really loves to drink.
I'm doing good. So I got sugar-free strawberry lemonade with pineapple juice and strawberry flavored vodka. So it's basically spiked strawberry lemonade. Strawberry pineapple lemonade.
Oh, and not to mention dry bag. It honestly seems like her life is completely falling apart at all times. Well, nearly. Like needing to do a hurricane prep, even though she was not in the path of the hurricane. Or about her door dashing, complaining about it relentlessly, and then she got in a car accident. Don't worry. If you were wanting someone else in Gorlwold not to feel sympathy for, she's the one. Unlike her Amber counterpart, Rosie did once have a job, but she decided that it just wasn't for her. Okay, what she said was,
I just don't have the ability to keep up with the demands of that job. I just don't. I don't have it in me. And I was trying to figure out a way to make it work. It was a good pay, though, Jessica.
which, okay, fine and fair, but that doesn't mean you just get to dry bag, girly pop. I have 2 jobs and have for years, and most days I don't have it in me. But I'm not going to quit and run to talk to other people to get their money. Now, I just want to say here, Rosie, if Amberlyn Reed sees you as a train wreck, it's time to reevaluate your life and what you're trying to do. I always find it fascinating that she talks about selling the house that she and her brother live in.
But she was just like, you know, without your financial help, we'd have to sell the house. And there's just a lot of implication with that. And that kind of snapped me back into reality a little bit.
When it seems her mother owns the house and doesn't even live there all the time. So that leads to a question. How do you sell something you don't own? Now, I'm not a fan of Amber. In fact, I think she is one of the most despicable people on this platform. But you can boast about being better than her all you want, and yet she at least lives on her own. Well, now she does. Just saying. But don't worry about her, guys, because in her bio, she has pretty much everything you can need to donate to her right in her link tree. But what else is in her bio? It has many diagnoses in it. There is nothing that has been shown to actually be diagnosed. In fact, there are some people that believe that she diagnoses shops, going from place to place and honing your skills until some poor doctor agrees with her. The state that she lives in does not recognize her as disabled because she tried to get on disability and it didn't work. And she regularly jumps around with her diagnoses because, well, it helps her dry bag. Now, all these lies about diagnoses make me think about Amber and Emily, who Rosie decided to follow, and one thing comes to mind. Who the hell wants to be a pick-me bitch in the Amberverse?
Don't be shy, you can at me, sis, cause ain't nothing worse than a pick-me bitch.
Let alone to an Edie Yum Yum Mr. Burns woman. Rosie has said that she is bisexual, and fair enough, so am I. But for someone who advertises herself as that came out of the Edie Yum Yum community and was groomed into it as some kind of survivor and holier than thou, it is extremely fascinating that now she wants someone like Emily to pick her. I don't know. Honestly, Rosie will lie about anything and everything for just a scrap of attention. And the moment you point something out, you're going to be blocked and hidden from her channel because God forbid you do anything about her echo chamber. Now, is Amberlynn jealous? Hell, she might be. But what people are missing in this interaction is that Amberlynn has accomplished something. For the first time in her miserable life, she's right. Rosie did not message Tommy on the DL where she was being a shady piece of shit. Instead, she moved and started to do it in public. You know, be an out loud piece of shit in order to get as much attention as she possibly can from others and Amber. The coming result might not be to her liking. Not to mention using Rarity's name to get that attention. Like the Clout Goblin everybody knows that she already is. Which I believe brings us to her super secret Discord. She demands people email her or her mods to get into this Discord, so needless to say, I'm not in there. But I think that with the way she behaves, it's likely not a pleasant place for anybody involved. She demands silence, or at least silent acceptance of her behavior and how she thinks. At one point, someone pointed out that being shady to Zachary Michael was, well, shady, but it's okay. They deleted the super chat and blocked them. Now, I don't know what is going on in her Discord. I don't think really anybody does unless they're in there. But I do know this. Super secret Discords often hide super secret shit that a lot of people don't want the public to know. And just like Narc Alerts and a whole bunch of other Discords that were kept on the DL for the longest time, somebody will end up in there. And screenshots will be had. And honestly, I can't wait. And Rosie, let me explain something to you. An echo chamber is the safest place before things start to fall apart, which is why I was watching and waiting. I knew you'd get too big for your britches, pun fully intended, and you would overstep. And here we are, arguing over some Edie Yum Yum Mr. Burns looking woman with Amberlynn Reed. Girl, please, we all know you want the attention, but guess what? I have a feeling that this is going to be the attention that you have never been prepared for. Because the reaction channels you were talking shit on, well, they're going to see this, and guess what? Your control and echo chamber does not extend to them or their channels. So, on your own head be it. What I suggest is that the reaction channels take a look at the last 3 months of our live streams and really take into consideration that while we do not have a new head of locales on our hands, we definitely have a pick-me one. As for Rosie again, I'll leave you with only this advice, and I try and go by it when I'm thinking of doing something so stupid it's going to hurt. There is positive attention and there is negative attention. Negative attention is easy. Positive attention requires actual hard work. That is it for this video, and welcome to the new localverse that I'm creating, guys. Well, at least on my channel. If you like this kind of content, give me a like, maybe subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, if you take meds, don't forget to take your meds. If you do not take meds, go outside, touch some grass, drink some water, and as always, have the day that you deserve. Remember, tomorrow needs you. Love you guys. Bye!